In the heart of a bustling city, nestled between the neon lights and honking horns, lay an art gallery that few dared enter. The gallery was known not for its beautiful landscapes or striking portraits, but for its collection of cursed paintings. The legends whispered of dark magic woven into the canvases, of mysteries that defied explanation, and of a curse that brought doom to all who gazed upon the haunting images. The owner of the gallery, a reclusive figure by the name of Mr. Blackwood, had inherited the collection from his enigmatic great-uncle. Rumors swirled around the old man and his obsession with the occult, with some whispering that he had made a pact with otherworldly forces to create his macabre masterpieces. One rainy evening, a young art historian named Evelyn received an invitation to visit the gallery. Intrigued by the whispered stories and drawn by a curiosity that bordered on obsession, she decided to accept the invitation. As she stepped through the heavy oak doors of the gallery, a chill ran down her spine, and she knew that she had entered a realm of darkness unlike anything she had ever experienced. The first painting that caught Evelyn's eye was a portrait of a young woman with eyes as black as midnight. The woman's lips were pulled into a twisted smile, and her gaze seemed to follow Evelyn as she moved through the room. As Evelyn studied the painting, a sense of unease settled in her chest, and she felt as though the air around her had grown heavy with foreboding. She tore her gaze away from the painting and continued to explore the gallery, each painting more sinister and unsettling than the last. In one corner, a landscape depicted a moonlit forest where shadows danced and whispered secrets to those who dared to listen. In another, a still life of decaying fruit seemed to rot before Evelyn's very eyes, filling the room with the sickly sweet stench of decay. As the hours passed, Evelyn became aware of a presence lurking in the shadows, a whispered breath on the back of her neck, a cold hand brushing against her own. She tried to convince herself that it was merely her imagination, that the stories of curses and hauntings were nothing more than fanciful tales spun by superstitious minds. But as she turned a corner, Evelyn came face to face with a painting that would change her life forever. It depicted a man with hollow eyes and a gaping maw, his twisted limbs reaching out as if to pull the viewer into his nightmarish world. The colors seemed to swirl and shift, creating an illusion of movement that made Evelyn dizzy with fear. As she stared at the painting, a voice whispered in her ear, a voice that spoke of ancient secrets and forgotten sins. Evelyn tried to scream, to tear her eyes away from the cursed canvas, but she found herself frozen in place, unable to move as the darkness crept closer, enveloping her in its suffocating embrace. Just as Evelyn felt herself on the brink of madness, a hand reached out from the shadows and pulled her back from the abyss. It was Mr. Blackwood, his eyes grave and solemn as he led her away from the painting and into a hidden chamber deep within the gallery. In the dim light of the chamber, Evelyn saw rows upon rows of paintings, each more terrifying than the last. Mr. Blackwood explained that his great-uncle had been a sorcerer of great power, a man who had sought to unlock the secrets of the universe through his art. The cursed paintings, he revealed, were a gateway to another world, a world of darkness and despair where the souls of the damned roamed free. Those who gazed upon the paintings risked falling prey to the malevolent spirits that dwelled within, their minds twisted and broken by the horrors they beheld. Evelyn listened in horror as Mr. Blackwood spoke of the curse that bound him to the gallery, of the price he had paid for his great-uncle's sins. He told her that he had spent years trying to undo the curse, to break free from the grip of the paintings that held him captive. As Evelyn looked into his eyes, she saw the glimmer of desperation, the flicker of hope that had dimmed with each passing day. She knew then that she had a choice to make, a choice that would determine the fate of not only herself, but of all who had fallen under the curse of the paintings. With a heart heavy with sorrow and courage in her soul, Evelyn made her decision. She would confront the darkness that lurked within the gallery. She would face the cursed paintings head-on and seek to unravel the mysteries that had plagued Mr. Blackwood for so long. As she stepped back into the main gallery, Evelyn felt a surge of power coursing through her veins, a light that dispelled the shadows and banished the evil that had taken root in her heart. With a steady gaze and a steady hand, she began to dismantle the cursed paintings, one by one, until only light remained in the gallery, and the curse was broken at last. As dawn broke over the city, Evelyn stood before the empty frames of the paintings, her heart full of sorrow for the lives that had been lost to the darkness. But she knew that the curse had been lifted, that the gallery was now free from the grip of the haunted canvases that had plagued it for so long. And as she walked out into the light of a new day, Evelyn knew that she had faced her fears and conquered them, that she had triumphed over the forces of darkness and emerged stronger, wiser, and unbroken. And though the whispers of the cursed painting gallery would echo in her mind for years to come, she would never again be afraid, for she had faced the unknown and emerged victorious.